Before you begin, make sure that you have the following prerequisites. You need to have Git installed on your computer, Docker desktop installed and up and running, and then also the Adobe API credentials files. The first step is to clone this repo. If you're on a Mac, you can copy paste this combined command into your terminal. If you're on Windows, then you'll need to copy paste each one of these 4 commands separately. I am on Mac, so I am going to copy this combined command, paste, and press enter. Once it's cloned the repo, then the next step is to start the server. Very easy. Down here, you can see this command, which you can copy paste into the terminal. Paste, press enter. It's going to take a moment to download the image and then start up the container. You can see it's downloading the image now. And the container has been started. And you can also see the container up and running in your Docker desktop. If you use the only show running containers filter, you will see a ajo-content-MCP container is up and running. So now to access the MCP server, you have to navigate to the localhost port 3000. So you can just click on this link in the guide. And you can see the MCP server is up and running. So now the next step is to configure it. It's going to guide you through all the steps, one step at a time. The first step is to upload the API credentials. You should have at least 2 API credential files, one to give the LLM access to the lower sandboxes, and another one for the lower sandboxes plus the prod environment. So I am going to drag and drop the prod environment credentials. It's automatically detecting the tenant namespace, the org name. Here you can see what the scope of these credentials are. So it's telling you that with these credentials, the LLM will be able to access the non-prod and prod sandboxes. And this here tells you what the LLM will be able to do with these credentials. So create, update, ajo-content templates, fragments, folders, and tags. The next step, step number 2, is to select the sandbox, which you want the LLM to be able to target. For now, I'm going to select the development sandbox. Then the third step is to define the offer. So then the LLM performs actions. It's going to perform actions on the behalf of this offer. So then we'll be able to know who the user was. I'm going to type in my Adobe email. After that, you have to decide if you want to enable the write access. By default, only the read access is enabled. If you say yes, then you'll get some additional options in the UI, such as defining the naming convention and asset organizational structure. If you toggle this on, you'll see this input box which you can edit, or you can leave it as is and use these predefined rules as the starting template. You can also upload your own Markdown file with your own asset naming convention and organizational structure rules. Once you have this defined, then the next step is to decide if you want to enable the GitHub integration. Once again, these are optional steps. If you say what you do, then you'll need to fill out the credentials, the token, the name of the owner of the repo, and the name of the repo. And then you also have to decide if you just want it to be acting as an audit trail, or if you want to enable the pull request approval gate for the LLM. So if you have the second option selected, then the LLM will not be able to perform any actions in your selected sandbox in step 2, unless you approve the pull request, or whoever the owner of the repo is has to approve the pull request before the LLM can make any updates in the actual AGO environment. For now, I'm going to select audit trail. And then you also have to paste in the add token. And click on test connection once you're done filling everything out. And then the last step is to start the MCP server. So now the server is waiting for an LLM client to connect. Once LLM clients connect, you'll see them show up in this section. You also have the log down here that shows you what the LLM is doing, how it's interacting with this MCP server. So for example, if I were to launch my Claude desktop application, you will see that now Claude Desktop has connected. It shows up as one of the connected clients. And here in Claude Desktop, if we click on the plus sign and go to connectors, you will see ajo-content-management-mcp-server as one of the connectors.